Hi guys, Trevor Swenson with Through the Darkness. My personal journey with PTSD and trauma and stressor-related disorder. One of the questions that I get a lot from people that are close to me, and it's either directly or most likely indirectly through my wife, is what can we do for your husband during this difficult season that he's in? He is isolated. He doesn't want people stopping over. He's just in a really rough and lonely season right now. What can we do? And I'm sure that I am not the only person with PTSD that feels alone, that feels really overwhelmed by PTSD. And so I thought I would talk today about the things that really, truly move me in my walk with PTSD, in hopes of maybe encouraging you to do the same for other people. Forget about me. It's not about me anymore. It is completely about other people at this particular point. One of the first things is that there was a Trevor Swenson before PTSD that a lot of people remember, and a lot of people interacted with, and a lot of people were impacted positively by. And I will tell you that it never gets old hearing from people about the things that I may have done for them, or the parts that I may have played in their particular life. And so take the time, if you know somebody that is struggling with PTSD or trauma and stressor-related disorder or major depressive disorder or an anxiety disorder, and remind them of what they mean to you, who they've been to you over the years, even if it means prior to the diagnosis that they have gotten and the battle that they are in. The other thing that really matters is that I think sometimes people forget that there are far-reaching and a very pervasive nature. There is a very pervasive nature to PTSD, and it does affect an entire family. In fact, it spreads into not only immediate family but also extended family. It affects everybody. And one of the things that is very meaningful to me personally is when people reach out to make sure that my wife is doing okay, to make sure that my kids are doing okay, to communicate with people in my family that they are thinking about us and praying for us. And again, remember, today's message isn't about me. I'm going to be okay one way or the other. My concern is that we are able to help as many people as possible that are walking through this, that are at a point where they are losing hope, or that they are in a very difficult season themselves. So check on the families. There's nothing that is more meaningful to me that there are people that check on my wife regularly to see how she is doing, because this has been an incredibly difficult journey for her as well. There is secondary trauma that takes place. If you think about it, if you are married or have a significant other and you watch them suffer and go through something extremely agonizing, and you watch them, you essentially lose that person in your life, lose the person that you were married to, lose the person that you had X number of years ago. That is a deep and very, very real and very difficult season to walk through. You essentially lose somebody. And I just challenge you to approach it as a grief process, because that's really what it is. I can tell you that the guys around me have lost the guy for the time being that they knew and hung out with and did things with. My family has lost that particular guy because of the season that I'm in with PTSD and because of PTSD as a whole. And there's a grief process that needs to take place in grieving that for the time being, and a season of hope and encouragement as well. And another thing that is really a powerful thing, and I can tell the people that do interact with me or send me an email or send me a text or talk to somebody that is close to me that is in the know, that they clearly have taken the step and asked themselves, what can I learn to better understand where Trevor is right now and what he might be walking through, and in turn how that would affect me personally if it was me. If I lost all of my passions in life, if I lost all of the desire to do things that I so used to love to do, if I became completely numb and had no more emotions, that if I lived in a state of heightened anxiety and fear every day, what would I want somebody to do or say for me personally? And so studying and really understanding what's going on with the person in your life that is walking through PTSD. Another thing is don't ever take things personally. Of course, unless you were involved in the trauma inducing actions or activities. Don't take things personally, because there are so many difficult seasons that somebody with PTSD is walking through, that if you looked at it on the surface and just took it for face value, there would hardly be a person that wouldn't be able to take it personally in some way. Me, for example, I have very little emotion about anything. Nothing. Up, down. Don't get excited about much, as I've talked in another video, because my brain is just protecting me from any stimulus at this particular time. And you can't take that personally. You can't take it personally when somebody is walking through a social aversion state or walking through isolation. Don't take that personally, because it has to do with PTSD and that person's walk through PTSD, and it has nothing to do with their lack of love for you or their wanting to not be around you. And that's important to understand that. It really is, because it would be very easy to take things extremely personally if you were just to look at the superficial parts of PTSD. So those are a few things that I want you to remember. Remind those people that are struggling with PTSD of the incredible things that they added to your life before PTSD put a few speed bumps in their life. Check on their families. Make sure their families are doing okay. Learn as much as you can about the particular situation that they're walking through. Learn about PTSD, and finally, don't take it personally. Don't take it personally the way that they are acting as they're walking through difficult seasons. It's difficult enough to manage myself on a daily basis and to figure out which way is up, and to get enough courage to put my feet on the floor every single morning. Don't take it personally and add that burden to my PTSD walk. I can't wait to be healthy, and I can't wait to get back to that person that people used to know. I know that that is on the horizon as my brain heals, and as yours will as well. Thanks for being with me today. Remember, God loves you. God knows exactly where you are. He will give you the grace to get through today. He loves you. He loves you by name. Click subscribe. I can't wait to talk with you next time.